Greetings. Hey, it's Susie Q. Have you ever had a moment where you're like kind of in kind of an awakened state, but still getting kind of some dreams? Or are you ever going into what we call lucidity? And you're able, or are you able to sometimes take notes about some of your dreams? It could be some symbology. It could be I like numbers, and I like all kinds of different synchronicities also through the dream state. So what else are you doing when like you're ready to go to sleep and all of a sudden this dream comes up and it's like so yucky, right? And then you start realizing it depends on if it's just a regular dream or a lucidic dream. And so the lucid dream could go in there and start kind of slashing and dashing some of the other energies that maybe not feel right for you. But I think even if you start kind of like resolving or dissolving or erasing some characters in dreams, I think that they're there. I think there's more to the story, because you could say like, oh God, I'm running, people are chasing me. All of those kind of dreams are happening, but there's another underpinning. There's another underpinning of some of these stories about the dreams that we have, right? So a lot of us just kind of maybe get a little bit of their dreams. Some people don't even know that they're dreaming. They have no awareness of what they don't know about dreams, and that's okay. And then sometimes you could go into what we call lucidity in a dream state, and that's where I get a lot of guidance. Super duper amazing guidance. And so what happened over the weekend, so okay, I just came off of a really cool optimal health systems seminar in Tucson. It was super fun. The energy was clear, man. It was so freaking clear, so clear and so amazing. And that's when I had this dream, and so excited to share it. All right, so in this dream, I was kind of like traveling around, all right? So it was still Susie. It was a Susieism, right? And then I would be going into different places, like other houses, right? And so it might have been my house or some other person's houses. I don't know. I kind of felt like the houses that I had were in different areas and they were my homes. Those were my homes, okay? So what happened in this dream, which was like freaking me out, I'm like going, okay, so I'm just like hanging out in the house, this one house. And then all of a sudden, everybody, all these other beings were coming in into the house. And I'm like going, okay, so, and again, it's all telepathy. There's no words spoken. It's just a thing, right? And of course, these beings came in. They looked a little bit like us and a little bit not like us. But what I found, when they came in, they were just kind of looking around. They were like looking at all the stuff, And then for whatever reason, they started removing things. And for the life of me, I can't remember exactly what they took, but they were taking things out from that house. And I thought, I didn't really have anything to say because there was no words, and it just was some sort of an event for removing things or getting things out of the space. So that happened. And then I had another home in another place. And then sure enough, a different group came in, kind of looked like us, but not like us, right? And they came in and they were kind of like looking around. They're like, looking around, like checking things out. Like, what else do I need to get? What else do I need to take? What else do I need to know? So they were there as well. And so we had more of these. So I had another house. It was a third house. And again, like, it's so funny because all the doors are open, the windows are open, so it's like a free range chicken. You can just come right in, and that's what I was like in Texas. Just the doors were open for anybody. Anyway, but those beings came in, kind of looked like us, a little bit different, and then they started kind of looking around, like what else do they know? What else do they need? What else do they need to take? And any provisions or anything. I was just kind of observing them just doing that. Sometimes you could think, well, they're stealing, they're stealing, they're taking away stuff, they're taking my jewelry and my goods and all that. But then I started realizing, and there were more houses too, so there were more houses and the same situation happened. They would just come in and they'd be looking around, they'd figure out what they need or what they wanted, and then they took it, And so what I'm really getting from this, when we were looking at lucid dreaming or any kind of dream state, hey, people, wake up, little people. All right. So what I found is that Some of these dreams that I'm working with, the specific dreams that we had in a series over the night, I was just kind of like thinking, like, what is the purpose of that? Because there was no harm, there was no danger. I was just in a space of being observing what they were doing. There was many levels of beings, and what I found after I woke up and I kind of took a little bit of time to kind of reconcile what the dream was, I think that they were taking away some sorrow. I think that they were taking some old stuff that's not needed anymore. I think they were releasing things from what we call a home or a vehicle or a house, and they were taking some of the things away from me. Some of the things that I don't need anymore. Some of the things that I'm still curious about stuff, but I don't need it. I don't need to know that anymore. I just don't need that anymore. So what they were coming in to do is they were kind of assisting with my subconscious mind to start dissolving things, removing things, getting more forgetful. Sometimes we go, I can't forget. Well, maybe it's good that you can't forget, because maybe it's already done, it's already gone, and poof, it's out there. And I think all of those beings in those different houses might have had meetings, that were really assisting me to have these beings come in, or have some of these frequencies or energies that were coming in on this dream state. It's really spectacular when we start like looking at our dreams and kind of processing. And even if something is really, really bad, like super really bad, there's something there. There's going to be a pearl of wisdom within that. Even the most heinous looking dream or character, like I've told this before, but I was in a dream state, and this guy was with a beautiful woman, and he was kind of behind, the kitchen. He was kind of where the bar was, and then at some point, the woman was gorgeous. The guy was kind of creepy. He looked sweaty and stuff and everything. And then when he was starting to talk, he would bring his hands up here, but then his hands had been ripped out. Both of his hands had been ripped out, and so that was when I was like, dissolve, and then he dissolved out. And then the characters kept going, So whenever you're in a dream state and you're dissolving or removing anything, it just everybody stops. Nobody says, well, what happened to that dude? It's like, not that, but you start just noticing it when you're starting to create something different with a lucid experience, is that you can bring things in, take things out. So I took out that man, and he just dissolved. And then all the other characters around me, there was like a group of people, nobody said what happened to him, right? So it's like our story. It's like our story, and we get to create. We can edit, we can remove stuff, we can bring new stuff in, whatever. But what we found later with that kind of creepy guy is that he was one of my past lives, and it was one of my past lives, and he was in the ocean, and he was a fisherman, and it was a night sky. I could see everything because I'm an Akashic reader, right? I can see all that stuff. And then I got the information that his arms had been stuck in the ropes because he was holding on, and then it just took out his hands. So sometimes when we're looking at things and we're seeing heinous things or sad things or whatever, there's always a pearl of wisdom with the dreams. Lucid dreams are powerful. Any other dreams you can get, maybe you're not lucid. Lucidity for me might look like, well, I'm gonna go in and look at one particular thing with this dream state, and I might go into numbers. I might go into symbology. I might go into color. Any of that stuff is showing up. So all of these energies that we're working with, and all of these different houses that I had, over Tucson, I had like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 houses, and these beings kept coming in. They were different kind of, sort of, but they were helping me rise up and letting freaking stuff go, letting it go, releasing any kind of forgetfulness or any kind of forgiveness practices. It's already wiped out. So they were coming in as energy and just showing me that some of that stuff, all the subconscious. So I think this is about the subconscious mind, and we're just noticing that right now I feel way more clear. Even that dream with all the people, because I was just like watching them all come in there, and they were taking stuff, but it was really fascinating when you start looking at a good dream or a bad dream or whatever. Any dream you can actually process and remember and make notes, then you're going to get more freaking guidance, everything is helping us. Everything is helping us, even if it looks bad and scary. You're like, oh my God, oh my Lord, but all of this is showing us that we're getting more guidance from all directions, all freaking directions. So when we work it with our soul's messages, we work with our body messages, we work with spirit or God or source or the cats down the street or angels. I don't even know. I don't even really, but there's a lot of helpers. We've had all of these helpers throughout our whole life. And the more that you can listen to that still small voice, listening to some of those parts, maybe you can't hear it, but maybe you have a more visual experience, or maybe you're more into music. Maybe you get some kind of variations with your music, your instruments. All of this is helping us. So when we go into these dream states, they're taking my stuff. Yeah, they're taking all my stuff. Yeah, but they were taking out the stuff that I don't need anymore. And I think that was really what was happening, is that they were taking things away, and I was just an observer. I was there, and I was observing them coming in. They were kind of lighter than we are in essence. They were a little bit lighter, but they were coming in and they were taking things away. And I had no problem with them taking things away. I had no issue. I just was allowing them to come into my spaces. I think there were 5 houses. And then I was just watching and having awareness, and it was comfortable, and it was a good space. So we'll see you soon. And namaste.